Sorry, food break.
I'm gonna cut him. What's happening, people? I'm Kameron Moyer, and you are watching the man, the myth, the legend. So today is the Valentine's Day special video that I'm making, and I decided to invite a very special person with me. This is Angela, my fiance, soon to be Miss Moyer, and today I just kind of wanted to share with you guys the story of how we met. It was kind of ups and downs to get to this point, but we kind of have, or we do have, what I like to call a magnetic love. So the first time that I met Angela, matter of fact, I'm gonna let her go ahead and say, she says this story better than me, so why don't you go ahead and tell them, baby, like the first time that we met.
So we were going to a friend's party, gathering, an outdoor party. And I have to tell you this part first because I was on my way there and I was riding with my girlfriend. Well, on the way there, we stopped in this parking lot. We were talking for a little bit, and I told her, I said, I feel like my guy, I feel like he's on his way. And I didn't think anything at the time, right? We go to the party. Cameron, like right when we walked in, he was there and he was trying to help me find silverware. So he brought me some silverware, and then from there we ended up in this like blacklight shed, and there was kind of a bunch of us in there. We were all dancing and vibing out and just having fun, right? And at one point, and Cameron was across from me, he was like showing me some dance moves, and then at another point, some other guy like brought out these blacklight face paints. And so the next thing I know, Cameron's over there, he comes over to me and he starts painting on my face. He asked me if he could, and I said, sure.
Gotta ask, guys. Always ask, fellas, remember that.
And so he was painting on my face, and yeah, we were just having fun. So at the end of the night, we went our separate ways.
No number.
No, yep.
Didn't ask for it. We invited him out because I was gonna go to Westport and hang out there, but her and her friend kind of like boop boop shot us down. So I mean, it was what it was. It was just, we were just having a good time, kind of wanted to continue it. So then the second time that we ran into each other, Halloween party, and I had a mask on. Like I made a purge mask, I had the mask on, and she came in as like a galactic fairy. Of course she would do that, she's mystical like that. And she walks up to me, and I'm getting my swerve on, I'm dancing, and she goes, I know you, you're Cameron. And I had my mask on. I don't know how she knew. Maybe it was my dance moves, because it was the dance moves. And let me just say, I don't ever remember people's names, so that was interesting that I actually remembered his name. Exactly. So she went off and did her thing, danced with other guys. We didn't even really dance or nothing like that. Just ran into her again. Getting the magnet concept.
Back on the dance floor.
Back on the dance floor. So then there's another time I'm at the tank room. My cousin's DJing. She shows up again. She's there. And this time I was like, this is the third time I ran into this girl. And she came in with the Beauty and the Beast. What is it called? Like
a stained glass.
Yeah.
It was a dress, and it had like a Beauty and the Beast stained glass on it.
And I was like, oh, that's Beauty and the Beast. That's so dope, you know. So I proceeded like, hey, would you like a drink? Blase, blase. And then she goes off and she's hanging out with her girlfriends. Well, I kind of was gravitated to her because they were just kind of not dancing, just sitting to the side. So I said, you know what? She's attractive. I keep running into her. Maybe I should have a conversation with her. So I go over, and it's instant connection. We're talking about how much we love working with children, how much we want to help children that need help through situations like impoverished children of the inner city. And we connected so much that I was just like, I gotta get her number. I want to continue this conversation. So I built up the courage and I asked for a number. And I remember going to my father like 3 days later, and I'm like, what's a good period after you get a girl's number to text them? So he said, boy, you text them whenever you want to. Of course, that's my dad's that kind of dude. Like, you text her right now. So I did. And she would text back, and, it just started to be texting for a couple weeks. Well, then she said she was going to, like a behavioral seminar thing, right?
It was a art and social change workshop.
Yeah. And, like social work and all that, I was really interested in it.
Yeah, well, it was using art to break down racial barriers and to break down just different barriers all around, but we were definitely focusing on race. And I felt really compelled to come home and talk to Kameron about it because I was really passionate about it, and I knew he was really passionate about it too.
Yeah.
So, and I think that was like one of our first actual conversations on the phone talking.
For hours.
We were just texting before that, and then that was like the first actual conversation. Yeah, I don't think we even got off the phone till probably like 4 or something in the morning. And then that started a cycle of us always talking on the phone till like 5, 6 in the morning. Like this became
and the conversations were so good. They were so good and so in-depth.
Rich.
That
very rich.
Time would fly by for one, and for two, I didn't even care whether I was exhausted. I had to get up like 3 hours. 3 hours was enough because I was still so juiced off of the conversation that we'd have the night before.
I agree.
So, it flowed so eloquently, and we had this, like, we were really drawn to each other. Magnetic love. So, I finally built up the courage to ask her out. Now, the first time we went out, let's just say,
he invited me to the tank room.
And it
around a bunch of people.
It didn't go well.
No, it didn't.
It was kind of loud. I guess she was expecting that same kind of like chemistry that we had on the phone to be in person. But when I asked her, how do you want me to act? How should I act when I meet you? Do I act like you're like my lady? Is this a date? And she said, we're just friends. So just act like you're my friend. So I did, and I was like super friendly, Made sure she was good. We danced, we had a good time. I just put her in the car and I said my goodbyes and she was on her way. Well, she called me and she said, I don't feel as if that this is kind of like, I'm not feeling that energy, that same energy that I feel on the phone. I said, well, why don't you give me another chance? Just one chance, without all the outside noise, without all of the ridiculousness of being out and having other people's energies around. So I said, yeah, this is a bold statement. Can I come over? Maybe. We can watch a movie. I can cook you dinner.
And that freaked me out.
Yeah.
That felt very intimidating to think about him coming into my home, my safe haven, and cooking me dinner. So instead, I asked him, well, why don't you come over, but I'll cook you dinner. That made me feel more in control of the situation, and that's what I needed to feel safe about it, I guess.
Yeah.
So he came over, was a nervous wreck, sat on the floor, and was like, I bought this tea and this tea and this tea, and like was just like showing me all these teas, and I could feel that he was really like nervous and anxious. And so I said,
I mean, look at her though. Look at her though. Of course I was nervous. I was shaking like a leaf. So
but that's a good sign. That's a good sign, ladies. Sorry, food break.
So speaking of nervousness, first off, before going over there, I had literally thrown up in the shower while I was like getting ready because I was so nervous. And then when I got there, like my guts, they was churning. Literally, I would hold my because I didn't want to pass gas in the bathroom just in case she might follow me in there and then she smell me. Like first time, like impressions, you don't want to smell me around the first, couple of times. Like I held my butt cheeks for months. I'm gonna say that. I was a trooper on that. But literally, I would stay at her house for the first like 3 times I came over, and we had a really good connection.
But I just want to add that it went really well.
Very well.
Being in a close-knit space, just me and him, we realized how much chemistry we had and how much we really connected. And that was when we were really able to build on that, like, more on the romance of it instead of just a friendship.
Intimacy, yeah. But it was in the beginning on that friendship level. It wasn't until after Christmas. I was with my family, she was with her mother, and it was getting late, and we usually talked every night. Well, I said, no, go ahead and hang out with your mother. You don't have to call me. You don't have to spend any time away from her to have a conversation with me. But she's like very adamant about it. No, I have to hear you. I have to talk to you. I want to hear your voice. Blase, blase. And I was like, oh.
I started to feel that longing, which I hadn't felt that before.
And it was a beautiful feeling. So then I told her, because she was coming back in town the following day, I said I'll go ahead and come over. Now I had to work the following day because the 26th fell on a work day. So I was all snazzy. I was looking good. You know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but toot toot. And as soon as I opened the door, I could feel her energy, her magnetic energy. And we were just drawn to each other. And it's like something had flipped. Because the last time I was there, it was more, you know, we're teetering on the idea of being together. But this situation was like no other.
Yeah.
I could feel her, she could feel me.
Yeah.
And
it definitely felt different. The energy was it was like night and day, and I was seeing him in a different way, and I could feel him. He came in more confident and more sure of himself. And before, I was seeing the nervous Cameron and maybe the insecure Cameron, but he came in just like Rico Suave. And women like that. Women like a confident man. And it just changed from there.
Yeah. So we go out to eat. We sat next to each other. We were touching, you know, holding hands. And I was like, oh, what is going on here? You know, because she was really, you know, prude with it before. She was really like leery to give me any kind of, you know, like, go ahead.
Right. Well, no, I was just going to say, and before we left, he came in and we sat on the bed and he showed me his drawings that he had done. Like, really beautiful drawings of like a really beautiful woman with flowers coming out of her sleeve. And I remember looking at them and thinking, oh my gosh, he's got so many sides to him. I didn't know that. And that was like a huge turn on for me.
Yeah.
That he was more versatile than I thought he was.
Yeah, you can't really take me for face value, people. I'm just saying.
No.
And
so we get home.
Uh-huh.
That's when we had our first kiss.
Yeah. Fireworks. Katy Perry fireworks.
And yeah, we pretty much became a couple that night.
Yeah, like literally she let me, I spent the night that evening. Complete attire, all my clothes
like
on,
friends
socks.
at a slumber party.
Yeah, and I had to hold my butt cheeks that night too, because there was many times where I wanted to do that. But
in the morning we changed our faces.
In the morning she's like, so it's official, right? I said, let's make it official.
It just felt official. Like, it
was
felt like
official.
this is my man, I'm his woman, and that's how you know is when it feels like it's the right time. Don't ever rush anything, and that's the thing is you want to have friendship first. So important to build that foundation because you're gonna need that all throughout your relationship.
And you also want to have that magnetic love where you guys feel like extremely drawn to each other, or instances where you keep popping up and you realize that you guys have these commonalities. You know, if you find someone that you have these commonalities with, see where it might go. Don't dismiss it. You know, really try and see where it goes, because that's what happened to us. You know, it was just a thought that turned into an action that then turned into a relationship. So if you guys have stayed the whole time, we appreciate you. We just felt like we would share a little bit. You know, I'm not trying to keep it within 5 minutes. I'm not keeping this all formal. It's just me and my lady just sharing how we got together, guys. And And I appreciate you guys rocking with your boy. Of course, I am Cameron. This is Angela. And you are watching the man, the myth, the legend. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. If you want to see us do this again, comment. If you have any suggestions of videos that you would like me to do, comment. I'm always looking at them, y'all. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Valentine's Day with the one that you love. If you don't, if you're not, I hope you're having a wonderful time with yourself in the bathtub with a glass of wine, whatever you're doing. Candles. Treat yourself, love yourself.
Yes.
Happy Valentine's Day. So, once again, thank you guys. If you like it, hit it with a thumbs up. If you don't, hit us with a thumbs down. Boom. Either way, we're good. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Say it with me.
Yep. Let's go! Bam!